Ohio gozaimasu. Happy doyo, everybody. It is currently the 21st of November, 2015. Meteorologist Robert Spetty here with you once again. Today we are tracking Typhoon Infa just south of Guam here, continuing to push off there towards the west. Actually, one of these outer rain bands have been pushing overhead, bringing some heavy rain squalls, really, especially across the northern end of the island there, Anderson Air Force Base, and extending off there towards the north into Rhoda. But the bulk of the high winds, where the max intensity of this storm system is still well down here towards the south. Actually, it seems I'm almost closer to Ulithi, which is in this area, than it is there to Guam. So the good news that Iowa is staying offshore at this time. But you take a look at satellite imagery, this is an absolutely impressive storm system, especially for November. You have that outflow channel off here towards the north, just really allowing this storm system to intensify. So it is strengthening, but there's so much good news with this. It's a strong storm, winds of 100 knots sustained, gusting to 125 knots, and even the Joint Typhoon Warning Center expects this to near super typhoon intensity. Not quite there, but 120 gusting under 45 knots. I would not want to be a lost sailor in that storm system. Basically, on the 23rd, right before it starts to recurve back towards the northeast, it's going to sit here for a second, and that is going to allow some explosive intensification. Also, we're going to have a lot of outflow coming in from the north, basically due to a passing trough that's going to allow this to enhance its intensity a little bit more. So a lot will be happening over the next several days, but the good news, most of this is happening out over open ocean. Like I said, it's passing near Guam, also Ulithi here, just passing north of that small island. You're probably going to see some tropical storm strength winds. Remember, Maisa devastated at that island, but I think this one should stay out to sea for the most part. Maybe might wrap around and hit the Ogasawara Islands sometime next week. I know that despite the forecast consensus and the model consensus, a lot of people here in the Philippines, for some reason, just cannot take the forecast straight up. They still think it's going to come here towards the west. And I know there's several factors. I think some people in the Philippines have been playing up the possibility of a storm tracking towards the west. And yeah, it is possible. It's also possible it could head south, for goodness sakes. But no, the reality is what I'm showing you here. That west pack high is a little bit farther towards the east. The overall flow is pulling off towards the north, and we have a cold surge coming in across Siberia down here towards the south. If that cold surge was not a player in this forecast, which is going to be taking place and already is taking place, the winds are already streaming south, I would say there is a bigger chance of it hitting the Philippines, but that cold surge is coming in. And don't ask me, what if the cold surge doesn't come? It's already happening, guys. Everything's connected. In fact, Friday morning, an overnight low there in Siberia was minus 42 degrees Celsius. It literally is too cold to snow at this one location. And you might be thinking, okay, why does this tie into the tropics? Why are you showing me this? Well, this is part of the Siberian high, and we have a piece of that is breaking off and coming down towards the south. That's what we're talking about, the cold surge. Here I want to show you this model outlook. This is a GFS. Everybody, especially you model geeks, you see this. And the only thing you typically look out, because there's a ton of information going on here, guys, is what is the model saying for our tropical system? And of course, I could probably scroll through it and just show you what it does, but I know most of you probably can do that yourself, right? But there's so much else going on here, because look at the top of the screen. We have millimeters per hour, that's the green. We have mean sea level pressure. I know that's what everybody's looking at. Hey, what's this storm system say? What's the model say? But another thing is, look at this, 1,000 to 500 millibar thickness. And as far as westerly storms, especially off here towards the north, this is my favorite chart to use. So what's the GFS saying here? Because take a look at this. We have all of these areas in the blue lines. That's basically, this is indicating below freezing at the surface, the 540 line. That's typically what we get. North of that, by the way, it typically snows. But look at this. We have all these little boxes set up. That is indicating cold air advection. And watch this all push down here towards the south. Also, do note that where you have the thickness lines the closest together on this map, that is indicating where the jet stream is. So look at this, right through here like this. Look at that, it runs right over this low, which is being supported by the jet, and off there towards the east. Plus, it's developing a new low over Japan, basically by the Wednesday time frame. Watch that low develop. It's going to pull a cold front down towards the south, the leading edge of this gradient, hook our storm, and then pull it towards the northeast. And look how far that high pressure pushes down towards the south, all the way over towards the Philippines. Even though you have the squall line set up right there. Actually, that could bring some severe thunderstorms across parts of Visayas by next week, and if this was to play out, because you have that cold air and warm tropical air interaction. But this is our first real cold surge. Look at that, 1,031 HBA high. You have the 540 line all the way down to Tokyo. I mean, this is not going to support a westerly storm. That is going to push it northeast, and this storm is going to just be out of there. Sorry, guys, that if you think it's still going to go west, there's just, if with this in play and that coming towards south, it's just going to stop it. And if our storm was to go west into this chaotic mess coming in out of the Siberia, it would probably just tear it apart and destroy it. So if that was to happen, which is unlikely at this scenario. And it's not just this numerical guidance, because I always say you don't want to look at one model, of course. You want to look at several. Well, let's take a look at a few of the other ones. Okay, here we go. We got our mean sea level pressure and geopotential height. So ECMWF just stalls it out, same date into Wednesday. Then this is the NavGem, same thing, geopotential height, mean sea level pressure, Tuesday and the Wednesday. You can see that tighter gradient in the upper levels coming down. That's what this tight gradient right in here in the colors is kind of indicating in the upper levels. And we have that trough that comes through, and that's going to kick our storm off towards the northeast. So you can rest easy for tonight if you are out here towards the west, Okinawa, Philippines. But if you are in Guam, I would still hang out inside for the time being. Showers still going on out there. And like I said, the small island of Ulithi might take some tropical storm strength winds, maybe some typhoon strength gust from this. Nothing compared to previous storms, but I'm sure that they have made the proper preparations on that island as this does continue to approach them. All right, guys, that is all for now with me. I hope you enjoyed this in-depth update, trying to break stuff down, explain it, and I enjoy doing that. That's one reason why I do these video updates. It keeps my mind fresh, and I hope I help some of you guys learn a thing or two about weather. All right, guys, stay safe out there.